Hello, today I'm gonna start a new series for what if civilization started over. So let's begin. So, the first civilization will start at the coast of Georgia. Yes, this is gonna be where everything starts. They will quickly discover the Atlantic Ocean and generally expand throughout this region slowly but surely, making a bigger and bigger area known to them until finally, after becoming a big group, the first civilization will start exactly here and it will slowly expand throughout this region, making its way southwards until it's now centralized enough to have its own capital. So that's something, and now it will start to rapidly go out and explore, trying to go as inland as possible until they reach some mountainous areas, so they will not expand more here and they will start going northwards as the climate there is better, and generally the country will also start going that way and generally expanding a bit, but just a bit for now, while they also know that this coast continues to be like that. After that, the state will actually start going southwards and they will make an expedition which will find something weird. They will find water, but not the Atlantic one. So they start theorizing that they are probably on an island, and on an island. So they start to discover more of this area to see if the water connects. Going downwards, and they will find more water. So yeah, they believe at this point that they are on an island and they will push further this way to see if they can find water from here. But after not being able to find any, they will stop expanding, adventuring I guess, and they will actually expand their borders a bit to become even bigger. At this point they are half the size of actual Georgia, and they will even start going into Florida. After all of this, they will think about where to expand next, and they will decide to expand towards everywhere. So yeah, they discover a bunch of stuff, while in the north they will expand a bit more, but at this point the climate doesn't seem so good. Besides that, they continue to actually find water, which is quite terrifying for them. But they have still not found where the water connects, if it connects at all. Because this might be a lake, maybe, who knows. Now after expanding this much, they will continue their normal expansion and they will even reach this lake for them and generally expand southwards and even northwards and even inland. But at this point the government is strong enough to establish some new forts basically, or you call them cities, one appears on this coast, one appears on this coast, and one appears up here. After this, the state will continue to expand, this time focusing on this area, finding a lot of flatland, while they will also go here and realize that this area is a peninsula and it's not a lake or anything else. Which is interesting. They also find a few islands here. And yeah. And after exploring these areas, they will continue to expand, this time towards the peninsula. But they will stop here because they see that this area is not very hospitable, so yeah. But they will also barely expand this way because this area is also not best. And now they will start focusing on meeting the mountains more. And that's exactly what they will do as they explore across the mountains going northwards. And a big expedition has happened and they only found land, which is interesting for them, but nonetheless they will expand that way. At this point, this state has expanded a lot and it has become quite big. But yeah, they don't know much of the world, so they are really trying to figure out where they are, and they have started to believe that they might not be on an island actually. But at this point they have started finding a lot of rivers here, and they will follow those rivers to find coast. And not just coast, but also a small peninsula here. And it's theorized that this area is about how it looks actually. And of course they will send expeditionaries to see how it is. But due to the difficulties they will not be able to explore the whole area, but yeah, you can pretty clearly understand what there is there. So they will slowly go and explore a bit more. But after more people come here to see this new land that has been discovered and this new body of water, someone will realize that there is land across the ocean. Problem is they cannot go to this land yet because it's a bit too far for them to swim. So they will decide that maybe, just maybe, if you go northwards you will find this land, and after a bit they find a connection and they realize that this is a bay basically. And quickly this whole peninsula will be discovered and a bit expand this way. And yeah, so they have explored a lot, and at this point even this area has been discovered. A lot of these lakes of course. Okay, like this. And they will even start to do some stuff to expand their the area that they can see. So yeah. Now the state, realizing that it has found a lot of new things, they will first make some new settlements close to the mountains in order to control them, and a new settlement down here. Their next goal is to go northwards into this area, which of course they will do, and they will find some lakes. Yeah, and yeah, they will not be able to expand much to the difficulties, but they will expand trying to reach this area, which is a good area nonetheless. Oh, oops, yeah, sorry. Yeah, now the state has become quite big, but at this point the southern cities start to dislike the northern cities, and a rebellion will break out, with the southern settlements breaking into a rebellion, which will quickly take control of most of the south of the original state, the red country, I guess, and they will capture this whole region. The red state, which doesn't have an army actually, which neither do they have an army, but they don't know really what to do because this is the first time something like this happens. They decide to let them be. So yeah. So this state gets recognized, and of course it makes its capital to be in the most close area to the red team, the oldest city in this area. And now we have two states. The blue team will quickly start to conquer the last areas of Florida until it captures all of this region, and it will also expand this way, trying to find anything useful, because they realized that the red team may be planning to get their land back, so they are quite paranoid about that, while the red team will still try to reach this area, this bay, which they will finally be successful at doing so, as they make a settlement here, and slowly but surely this region is also conquered, but they will leave some of it out because they don't think it's useful enough to get it. So now they will try to get across here, which I will be able to do, and make a settlement, which will be the northern settlement of this whole world, which is quite crazy. But yeah, at this point, blue team sends some new expeditionaries this way, and their goal is to find anything of use, because to be honest, the blue team is way less rich than the red team, so they will send expeditionaries to find anything of use. But instead of that, they find a huge river which is barely crossable, and they quickly just see everything that's before this river and of course after it. They find a nice peninsula which could be used to get a lot of bread and stuff, agriculture. So yeah, the blue team is satisfied by its foundings, and we see a very clear divide being made, as the blue team is more focused on exploring west, while the red team is more focused on expanding north. Even though they discovered all of this land, they will only for now be able to capture this bay and its surroundings, as it's very hard to go this way, because to be honest, this is the only area where humans can live and be okay. Here is not the best conditions. In the red team, which has started to expand rapidly again, they will finally capture this area, and they will start to use this area to test some nice boats, and they will finally be able to go from here to here and slowly capture this whole area, which will not be connected, for now at least, through land, but through ships going through the narrow positions, mainly here and here. Slowly, the whole peninsula will be captured, and after that, the red team will continue to explore, trying to find even more things, and they find some stuff, but nothing too valuable. So they will stop here for now. So they have seen that there is more land this way. Besides that, after that, they will also just connect their lands just for convenience and expand a bit this area. And yeah, now the blue team tries to get here, but some people, especially from these cities, will decide that they will go by themselves and try to settle this area to create a state which will be focused on making food. So they slowly conquer this area, taking it under their control, and establish one settlement which will become their capital. And yeah, the blue team is very mad about this, and now their focuses are also towards this area, as the purple team now will slowly start to capture most of this region, taking most of the valuable area which can grow food. Now they know about the existence of these seires, but they cannot get them, not yet at least, and they capture the rest of this peninsula. And not only that, but another major settlement will be established right here to control the southern region. Anyway, move back to the red team. They will now focus a bit on filling up this land and generally going as close to the mountains as possible, which they will be successful at, and even pushing northwards, trying to capture as much of this area as possible, though slowly this region becomes a bit too cold to go to, and the regions right here are more preferred. So yeah, not much expansion will happen here, while the blue team will now focus on exploring the fields right here, which have largely nothing major, just fields where you can grow crops, which is of course useful. And yeah, they will just start going that way, which that area is way better than this. This area, oh yeah, the area down here is worse than the area up here, so they want to have two centers here and here, and they slowly create the area they want to have and even make a new settlement there, right here. Anyway, yeah, now purple team will send some explorers to go this way, and they will realize that for the first time the coast goes continuously down, which they will find very interesting, and they will also find a nice bay, which they will quickly get advantage of. Okay, they will even try to expand a bit that way, but now their expansion is mostly focused on the river, which is their main base of everything. Anyway, this was the first video of What If Civilization Started Over. I hoped you like it, and bye!